Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare Abraham Lincoln penny coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we're going to talk about a coin that might be hiding right under your nose in your collection, or even in your change jar. We're diving into the fascinating world of the United States 1-cent coin, specifically the 1973 coin with an S mint mark. You might think, it's just a penny. But trust me, this little coin could be worth thousands, even millions, in the right condition. Stay tuned, because we're about to reveal the incredible value of this particular coin and why it's capturing the attention of collectors worldwide. First, let's take a step back and explore the minting history of the 1973 1-cent coin. This penny was struck at the San Francisco Mint, which is where the S mint mark comes from. But what makes the 1973 penny so special compared to other coins minted that same year? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and a little bit of historical context. In 1973, the United States was experiencing significant changes. The economy was shifting, and the country was dealing with inflation and the aftermath of the Vietnam War. The 1-cent coin, just like many others, went through various stages of production. However, in 1973, the San Francisco Mint produced fewer of these coins compared to other mints like Philadelphia or Denver. This makes the 1973 S mint mark penny more rare than most people realize, but rarity alone doesn't make a coin valuable. The key factor here is condition. You see, while many of these coins were circulated widely and saw daily use, some survived in near-perfect condition, uncirculated, and free from heavy wear. Coins like these are what collectors dream of finding, and they are the ones that can fetch an eye-popping price at auctions. If you think a penny from 1973 can't possibly be worth that much, think again. Coins that are in pristine, uncirculated condition are always in high demand. Now, the 1973 S mint mark penny isn't just any regular penny, it's a rare collector's item that, in mint condition, could sell for astronomical amounts. You might be surprised to know that some of these pennies have been known to sell for tens of thousands of dollars, and the value only continues to rise. The demand for coins from specific years with mint marks like the S has been growing steadily as collectors seek out the rarest finds. But hold on, here's where it gets really exciting. The value of a 1973 S mint mark penny in flawless, uncirculated condition could reach as high as $91,000. That's right, $91,000 for a single penny. It's mind-blowing, but it's happening in the US market. Coins like this are what every collector dreams of discovering, and they represent an extraordinary opportunity for anyone lucky enough to come across one. Now, you might be wondering, how can I tell if I have a valuable 1973 penny? First, check the mint mark. The S mint mark is located just below the date on the coin. Next, examine the condition of the coin. A truly valuable coin will have minimal to no signs of wear, sharp details, and the original luster it had when it was first minted. If you find one of these pennies in great shape, you could be holding onto a small fortune. If you're fortunate enough to have a 1973 S mint mark penny in your collection, don't just toss it aside. Get it appraised by a professional or look up recent auction prices to see what it could fetch. Even if you don't have one right now, remember to keep your eyes peeled next time you're sorting through your coins. You never know when a rare find might come your way. To wrap things up, never underestimate the power of a single coin, especially one as historic and rare as the 1973 S mint mark penny. This unassuming little penny has the potential to bring in a jaw-dropping $91,000. Who would have thought a simple coin could hold such a big value? Top 2, we're going to take a look at a coin that may be sitting quietly in your collection or tucked away in a jar of change, but believe me, this particular coin could be worth far more than you ever imagined. I'm talking about the 1967 1-cent coin, a penny that could end up being worth tens of thousands of dollars if you've got the right one. Stick around as we dive into why this seemingly humble coin holds such a high value in the world of collectors. Let's start by taking a step back in time. The year 1967 was a pivotal year for the United States, especially when it came to its coinage. The country was in the midst of the 1960s, a decade marked by significant social, political, and economic change. The U.S. was experiencing a period of transformation, with movements pushing for civil rights, new developments in technology, and growing tensions internationally. In the world of coinage, 1967 was significant because it marked a shift in how pennies were minted. But what makes the 1967 1-cent coin so special? In short, it's all about rarity and condition. While millions of these pennies were struck and circulated, most of them ended up being heavily used in daily transactions. That means, for the most part, 1967 pennies are not rare in terms of the number minted. So, if it's not about rarity, what makes this particular coin stand out? The answer lies in the coin's condition. Coins that were in circulation during the 1960s often got worn down, scratched, and damaged. But among all the pennies from that year, there are some that managed to stay in near-perfect condition, uncirculated, and as pristine as the day they were minted. These coins are the ones that collectors value the most, and they're the ones that can fetch a small fortune at auctions. But there's another twist that adds to the allure of the 1967 1-cent coin. Some of these pennies were struck with errors, making them even rarer and more valuable. These errors can range from slight misprints to more significant flaws in the design or minting process. If you happen to find a 1967 penny with one of these minting errors, you've stumbled upon something truly special. Now, the real question is, just how much can a 1967 penny be worth? Well, if you're lucky enough to have a 1967 1-cent coin in flawless, uncirculated condition, or even one with a rare minting error, you could be holding onto a coin worth as much as $71,000. Yes, you heard that right, $71,000 for a single penny. It's hard to believe that something so small could carry such a high price tag, but the demand for coins in excellent condition, especially from certain years like 1967, has made this penny highly sought after by collectors. If you think you have a valuable 1967 penny, make sure to inspect it closely. Look for signs of wear or, better yet, find one that's uncirculated or has a minting error. If you're unsure about its condition, it's always a good idea to get it appraised by a professional to see if it could be worth a significant amount. In conclusion, the 1967 1-cent coin is much more than just a simple penny. With its potential to fetch an astounding $71,000 in the right condition, this coin is a shining example of how something seemingly insignificant can turn into a rare treasure. So, the next time you come across an old penny, don't just pass it by, take a moment to check its year and condition. You never know, you could be holding onto a small fortune. Top 3, we're going to talk about the 1966 1-cent coin, a penny you probably didn't think was anything special, but trust me, this coin could be worth a lot more than you think. So, stick around as we uncover the incredible value hidden within this seemingly simple coin. To understand why the 1966 1-cent coin is so valuable, we need to take a quick trip back to the 1960s. The U.S. was experiencing a time of significant social and political change. The country was deep into the civil rights movement, the Vietnam War was escalating, and the space race was in full swing. Amidst all this, the U.S. Mint was busy producing coins to keep up with the growing economy, and the 1966 penny was no exception. But what's truly fascinating about this coin isn't its historical context, it's the rarity and condition of the surviving pennies from that year. Most of the 1966 1-cent coins were struck, circulated, and, over time, became worn and damaged. As a result, many of the pennies you'll find from this year have been heavily used, scratched, and faded. But here's the catch, there are still some out there in mint condition. These pennies were stored away, kept in perfect condition, and are now highly prized by collectors for their pristine state. When it comes to coins, the difference between a typical penny and one in mint condition can be astounding in terms of value. but it's not just about finding a 1966 penny that's in good shape. What really makes it valuable is its rarity. You see, while many pennies were struck in 1966, only a small number of them remain in exceptional, uncirculated condition. Most collectors are searching high and low for these rare pieces. As the demand for quality coins grows, the value of these pristine 1966 pennies continues to rise, and there's more. Some 1966 pennies have unique features or errors, which makes them even rarer. Minting errors, such as double die strikes or off-center prints, can make these pennies even more valuable. A small flaw in the minting process can make a coin even more sought after, and collectors are always on the lookout for these rare, one-of-a-kind pieces. If you find a 1966 penny with any of these unusual traits, you could be sitting on something much more valuable than a typical coin. So, how much can you expect a 1966 1-cent coin to be worth? Well, if you're lucky enough to own one of these coins in perfect, uncirculated condition, or if it has a rare minting error, you could be looking at a stunning value. Believe it or not, the 1966 penny could be worth as much as $75,000. That's right, $75,000 for a single penny. It's incredible to think that such a small piece of currency could have such an enormous price tag, but the rare, pristine 1966 pennies are some of the most sought after in the coin world. If you think you've got a 1966 penny that could be worth a fortune, it's time to take a closer look. Inspect the coin for any signs of wear, damage, or unique features like minting errors. If you find something that stands out, get it appraised by a professional to see how much it could be worth. Whether you found a mint-condition penny or a rare error coin, it could be the key to a small fortune. In conclusion, the 1966 1-cent coin is much more than just a penny from the past. With its potential to be worth $75,000, it's one of those coins that can turn a small collection into a real treasure trove. So, next time you're going through your old coins, take a moment to examine that 1966 penny. It might just be the hidden gem you've been waiting for. Top 4. We're going to dive into the fascinating world of the United States 1-cent coin from 1970, and you'll be shocked at just how much this little coin could be worth. You may just have a small fortune sitting right in front of you without even knowing it. So grab your magnifying glass and join me as we explore why the 1971-cent coin has caught the eye of collectors and why it could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. Let's take a quick step back in time. The year 1970 was a unique one in American history. The country was in the midst of the Vietnam War, and socially, it was a time of change with the civil rights movement gaining momentum. Meanwhile, the U.S. Mint was busy producing coins for everyday use, and the 1970 penny was just another coin in circulation at the time. But as it often happens in the world of numismatics, over time, certain coins can become highly valuable, and the 1971-cent coin is one of those examples. The first thing you'll notice about the 1970 penny is that it has a copper composition, much like most pennies from this era. But here's where things get interesting. Most of these coins were widely circulated and have experienced heavy wear and tear. Over the years, the majority of these pennies became worn down from daily transactions. But among all of these, there are a select few that have survived in near-perfect condition. And that's where the real value lies. Uncirculated coins are always in high demand in the numismatic world, and the 1970 penny is no exception. But it's not just the condition that makes this coin valuable, it's also the rarity. Although millions of 1970 pennies were minted, finding one that hasn't been heavily used is quite rare. If you happen to have an uncirculated 1970 penny in your collection, you're holding onto something that could be worth a substantial amount of money. But wait, there's more. Some of the 1971-cent coins have rare minting errors that can add even more value. These minting mistakes can range from double die strikes to off-center prints, and error coins like these are extremely valuable to collectors. If you happen to find a 1970 penny with a minting error, you could be looking at a truly one-of-a-kind coin that could drastically increase in value. These errors are what collectors live for, and they can make the difference between a regular penny and a coin worth thousands of dollars. Now, you might be wondering how much a 1970 penny can actually be worth. Well, in mint condition or with a rare minting error, the 1971-cent coin can fetch an astounding amount of money. If you find the right penny in the right condition, you could be looking at a coin worth as much as $65,000. Yes, you heard that right, $65,000 for a single penny. It's amazing how something as simple as a penny can become a highly sought-after collector's item, and it shows just how valuable the right coin can be. If you think you have a 1970 penny that could be worth this kind of money, it's time to take a close look. Check the condition of the coin, and keep an eye out for any potential minting errors. If your penny looks uncirculated or has a noticeable flaw, it could be time to get it appraised. The value of rare coins can fluctuate, but one thing is for sure, if you have a pristine 1970 penny or a rare error, you're sitting on something truly valuable. In conclusion, the 1971-cent coin is a prime example of how a seemingly ordinary penny can hold incredible worth. Whether it's in perfect condition or has a unique minting error, this penny could be the hidden gem you've been searching for. Don't overlook that small coin jar. You never know when you'll find a piece of history worth a small fortune. Top 5, we're going to talk about a coin that might seem ordinary at first glance but could actually be hiding a treasure worth thousands. Yes, I'm talking about the United States 1-cent coin from 1979. If you've ever wondered whether a penny from that year could be worth anything special, you'll definitely want to stick around, because this penny could be worth way more than just 1 cent. In fact, it could be worth a small fortune. Let's dive into what makes the 1979 1-cent coin such a valuable find. The year 1979 was a time of change in the United States. It was the end of the 1970s, and the country was dealing with economic challenges like inflation and energy shortages. But in the world of coinage, 1979 marked an interesting period. The U.S. Mint was producing a massive number of pennies to keep up with the growing demand for currency, and the 1979 1-cent coin was no exception. However, as with many coins from that era, only a few of these pennies managed to survive in pristine condition. So, if you happen to come across one of these rare pieces, you might just be holding onto a collector's dream. But what exactly makes the 1979 penny stand out in the world of coin collecting? For one, it's the rarity and the condition of the coin. Most pennies from 1979 were used in everyday transactions, meaning they've seen heavy circulation over the years. As a result, they've gotten worn, scratched, and faded. But here's the catch: a small number of these pennies were either kept in mint condition or never circulated at all. These uncirculated pennies are much rarer than you might think, and that's what makes them so valuable to collectors. On top of the coin's condition, there's another reason the 1979 penny is a prized find. Some of these coins were struck with unique minting errors, making them even more valuable. Minting errors can range from double die strikes to off-center printing, and these kinds of flaws are exactly what collectors are looking for. If you find a 1979 penny with one of these rare errors, you could be holding onto something even more valuable than a well-preserved coin. Error coins are especially sought after because they're one of a kind, and that rarity drives up their value even further. So, how much could a 1979 1-cent coin be worth if it's in top-notch condition or has one of these minting errors? Well, you're in for a surprise. A 1979 penny in excellent, uncirculated condition or with a rare minting error could fetch an incredible price. Are you ready for this? That single penny could be worth as much as $58,000. Yes, you heard that right, $58,000 for a single 1979 penny. It's mind-blowing to think that something so small, something we probably take for granted every day, could hold that kind of value. If you think you might have a 1979 penny that's worth this kind of money, take a closer look. Inspect the coin carefully for any signs of wear, and pay special attention to its condition. If you see a minting error or if the coin looks like it was never circulated, you could be looking at a true treasure. When it comes to coins like this, the difference between a regular penny and one that's worth thousands lies in the details. In conclusion, the 1979 1-cent coin is more than just another penny from the past. If you happen to have a well-preserved one or even a rare error coin, you could be sitting on a valuable collector's item. Whether it's the coin's mint condition or a unique flaw that makes it stand out, the 1979 penny could be worth far more than you might expect. So, next time you're going through your change, don't just toss that penny aside, take a moment to check for the potential hidden value it might hold. Top 6. We have an exciting discovery to share with you, one that might be sitting in your collection or even hiding in a jar of spare change. I'm talking about the 1977 1-cent coin, a penny that you may have overlooked, but trust me, this little coin could be worth far more than you ever imagined. If you're wondering how a seemingly regular penny could be worth a fortune, stick around, because today, we're going to uncover just how much a 1977 penny could actually be worth in the right condition. Let's step back in time to 1977. It was a year of change in the US, with the country dealing with the aftermath of the 1970s economic struggles, such as inflation and energy crises. But in the world of coinage, 1977 marked an interesting time for the US Mint. The penny was still being struck with its familiar copper composition, and the country was producing a vast amount of these coins. While most 1977 pennies were circulated and used in everyday transactions, some of these coins made it into collectors' hands, and others remained in excellent condition. So what makes the 1977 1-cent coin stand out? Like most coins, its true value comes down to its rarity and condition. Over the years, most of the 1977 pennies became worn and damaged through circulation, meaning they were subject to scratches, discoloration, and other signs of heavy use. But here's where it gets interesting: only a small number of these pennies were kept in uncirculated condition. These pristine coins are much rarer than you might think, and they are highly sought after by collectors. A well-preserved 1977 penny can stand out in any collection, making it a valuable piece for anyone who knows what to look for, and let's not forget about the minting errors. Some 1977 pennies were struck with imperfections during the minting process, making them even more desirable to collectors. From double dies to off-center strikes, these rare errors can significantly increase the value of a penny. If you happen to find a 1977 penny with a minting flaw, you could be holding on to a coin that is not just rare but truly unique. Error coins are extremely valuable because they are one of a kind, and collectors will pay top dollar for them. Now, you're probably wondering, just how much is a 1977 penny really worth? Well, if you have an uncirculated 1977 penny or one with a rare minting error, you could be looking at a remarkable value. Are you ready for this? A 1977 penny in excellent condition, or with a rare minting flaw, could be worth as much as $61,000. Yes, you heard that right, $61,000 for a single penny. It's hard to believe that such a small piece of currency could hold such an enormous value, but in the world of coin collecting, anything is possible. So, if you think you might have a 1977 penny worth a small fortune, take a closer look at it. Examine its condition, and see if it has any visible minting errors. If your penny looks like it has barely been touched or has an interesting flaw, it could be time to get it appraised by a professional. This is one of those coins where paying attention to the smallest details can make a huge difference in determining its value. In conclusion, the 1977 1-cent coin is much more than just another penny from the past. Whether it's a pristine, uncirculated coin or one with a rare minting error, this penny could be the hidden treasure you've been searching for. So next time you're sifting through your old coins or checking your change, don't overlook that 1977 penny. It might just be worth far more than you ever expected. Top 7. We've got an exciting find that you might just have sitting around in your collection or buried in your coin jar without even realizing it. Yes, we're talking about the United States 1-cent coin from 1975. You might think it's just another penny, but trust me, this small piece of history could be worth far more than you ever expected. Stay tuned as we uncover why the 1975 1-cent coin is so special and how much it could be worth in today's market. Let's take a quick trip back to 1975. It was a time when the United States was still adjusting to the aftermath of the Vietnam War and dealing with the economic effects of inflation and an energy crisis. In the world of coins, however, it was business as usual for the U.S. Mint, and they were busy producing pennies like any other year. The 1975 penny, made from copper, was struck in large quantities and circulated widely. However, over the years, many of these pennies have been worn down by use, making them less valuable to collectors. But there's a twist. Some of these pennies were kept in pristine condition, and these well-preserved specimens have become highly sought after in the coin collecting world. So, what exactly makes the 1975 1-cent coin stand out from all the other pennies? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and a little bit of luck. Most of the 1975 pennies were used for years and show typical signs of wear and tear. But a select few of these coins survived in mint condition, which is what collectors are always on the lookout for. An uncirculated 1975 penny is much rarer than you might think, and finding one in excellent condition can dramatically increase its value, but that's not all. Some of the 1975 pennies were struck with unique minting errors, flaws that occurred during the coin's production process. These minting errors can include things like double dies, off-center strikes, or even missing details on the coin's design. If you're lucky enough to find a 1975 penny with one of these rare errors, you could be holding on to something even more valuable than an uncirculated coin. Collectors are always eager to find error coins because they're one-of-a-kind pieces, and that rarity drives up their value exponentially. Now, the big question is, how much is a 1975 1-cent coin worth? If you have one of these rare pennies in excellent, uncirculated condition, or even better, if it has a minting error, you could be looking at a substantial amount of money. Are you ready for this? That 1975 penny in top condition could be worth an astounding $64,000. That's right, $64,000 for a single penny. It's incredible to think that such a small and seemingly ordinary coin could hold such an extraordinary value. So, if you have any 1975 pennies in your collection or even in your change jar, now is the time to take a closer look. Carefully inspect the coin for any signs of wear or, even better, for any minting errors that could make it stand out. If your penny is in great condition or has an error that makes it unique, it might just be worth more than you ever imagined. In conclusion, the 1975 1-cent coin is a prime example of how a seemingly ordinary penny can actually be worth a fortune. Whether it's an uncirculated penny or one with a rare minting error, this little coin could be the hidden gem you've been searching for. So next time you're going through your old coins, don't overlook the 1975 pennies, they just might be worth a whole lot more than you think. Top 8. We've got a penny that could be hiding in your collection, or even in your spare change jar, worth far more than you might think. We're talking about the 1973 1-cent coin, a piece of history that might just be worth a small fortune. If you've ever wondered about the true value of coins from the 70s, this video will definitely open your eyes. Stick around to find out just how much a single 1973 penny could be worth today. Now, let's take a quick step back in time to 1973. The world was in a state of transition. The United States was recovering from the effects of the Vietnam War, and it was also experiencing economic challenges like inflation and rising oil prices. In the world of coinage, however, it was business as usual at the U.S. Mint. In fact, 1973 marked a year when the Mint produced billions of pennies, including the 1973 1-cent coin that we're focusing on today. This coin, struck in copper and bearing the D mint mark for the Denver Mint, was widely circulated and used as everyday currency. But, just like any other year, only a small number of these pennies were kept in pristine condition, and finding one in great shape today is rarer than you might think. So, why is the 1973 1-cent coin so special? Like many other coins, its value largely depends on its condition. Most of these pennies were circulated, and over time, they've experienced wear and tear, making them worth only their face value, just 1 cent. However, a few rare gems were kept in uncirculated condition or lightly circulated, and those are the ones that collectors are looking for. A penny from 1973D in excellent, uncirculated condition is much rarer than you might expect, and that rarity drives up its value significantly. But there's more to this coin than just its condition. Some of these pennies have unique minting errors that make them even more valuable. During the minting process, sometimes mistakes happen, resulting in coins with double dies, off-center strikes, or other imperfections. These error coins are extremely sought after by collectors because they are one of a kind, and the more unusual the error, the higher the value. If you happen to find a 1973D penny with one of these minting errors, you could be holding a coin that is worth significantly more than a regular 1973D penny. So, now you're probably wondering, how much could a 1973D 1-cent coin actually be worth? Well, here's the exciting part: if you have a well-preserved, uncirculated 1973D penny, or, even better, one with a rare minting error, you could be sitting on a treasure worth a staggering $60,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $60,000 for a single penny. It's mind-blowing to think that something as small and unassuming as a penny could hold such incredible value, but in the world of coin collecting, these rare finds are highly coveted. So, if you've been saving up your old coins, or if you're just going through your change, be sure to take a second look at any 1973D pennies you come across. Examine them closely to check for wear or any minting flaws. If you find one that's in excellent condition or has an error, it could be worth a small fortune. In conclusion, the 1973D 1-cent coin is a prime example of how a seemingly ordinary penny can actually be a hidden gem. Whether it's a pristine, uncirculated coin or one with a rare minting error, this little penny could be worth much more than you ever imagined. So, next time you're going through your old coins, don't just toss that 1973D penny aside, take a moment to inspect it, because it might just be worth thousands of dollars. Top 9, we've got a fascinating topic to dive into, and trust me, you'll want to pay close attention if you're a coin collector or just a fan of hidden treasures. We're going to talk about a coin you might have lying around, an ordinary-looking 1981-cent coin. But here's the kicker: this seemingly regular penny could be worth a small fortune. You won't believe how much this coin is valued at today. Stick around to learn just how much this penny could be worth in the right condition. Now, let's take a trip back to 1980. The United States was in the midst of the Reagan era, with major shifts in the economy, politics, and global relations. The U.S. Mint, of course, was busy producing millions of pennies that year to meet the country's need for currency. The 1980 penny, like most, was struck with copper and was circulated widely for years to come. At first glance, a 1981-cent coin might seem like nothing special. But in the world of coin collecting, there's much more to this penny than meets the eye. It's the rarity and condition of the coin that determines its value. The truth is, most of the 1980 pennies that you'll come across today have been used, worn down, and show the usual signs of circulation. But there are a few gems out there, well-preserved, uncirculated coins that have survived the test of time in excellent condition. These coins are extremely rare and highly sought after by collectors. If you happen to find one of these well-preserved 1980 pennies, you could be sitting on something truly valuable. But there's more to this story than just the condition. Some 1980 pennies were struck with minting errors, which make them even more valuable. Whether it's a double die, an off-center strike, or some other flaw, minting errors make a coin unique. Error coins are especially prized by collectors, because they're one-of-a-kind pieces. If you find a 1980 penny with a minting error, that coin could easily fetch a much higher price than a standard, well-preserved penny. These minting mistakes are rare, and collectors will pay top dollar for them because they are distinct and unique. So, let's talk about the million-dollar question: how much could your 1980 penny really be worth? If you happen to have one in mint condition, or even better, one with a minting error, you could be in for a huge surprise. Are you ready for this? A 1980 penny in excellent condition, or one with a rare error, could be worth an astonishing $54,000. Yes, you heard that right, $54,000 for a single penny. It's mind-blowing to think that something as small and unassuming as a penny could hold such value. But in the world of coin collecting, it's not just the age of the coin that matters, it's the rarity, condition, and unique features that make it worth big money. So, if you've got any old coins lying around, or if you're digging through your change jar, take a moment to check for any 1980 pennies. Look for one that's in great condition, or better yet, look for one with an error that could make it even more valuable. If you find something special, it might be time to get it appraised because you could be holding a small fortune in your hands. In conclusion, the 1981 cent coin is a perfect example of how a seemingly ordinary penny could be hiding a hidden treasure. Whether it's an uncirculated coin or one with a rare minting error, this penny has the potential to be worth thousands, if not more. So, don't overlook that 1980 penny in your collection. It could be worth far more than its face value, and who knows? You might have just found your next big coin discovery. Top 10. This video is going to blow your mind. We're diving into a coin that might be sitting quietly in your collection or even in your spare change jar, completely overlooked, the 1974 1-cent coin. It might seem like just another penny, but don't be fooled, this coin has the potential to be worth thousands of dollars. Stick around as we reveal just how valuable a 1974 penny could be today. Let's rewind to 1974. It was a time of change and challenges for the United States. The country was in the midst of the Watergate scandal, and the economy was experiencing some bumps with inflation and high energy prices. During this period, the U.S. Mint was busy producing millions of pennies, including the 1974 1-cent coin. While most of these coins were circulated and saw daily use, there's something truly remarkable about some of the 1974 pennies that could make them worth far more than their face value. So, what makes the 1974 penny stand out in the coin world? The key here is rarity and condition. Most of the 1974 pennies you'll come across have been used, showing signs of wear from years of circulation. However, there are some coins that have been kept in pristine condition, unscathed by time or heavy use, and those are the ones that collectors are after. A 1974 penny that has remained uncirculated or in excellent condition is much rarer than you might think. These well-preserved coins are highly sought after, and their value can be significant, especially when compared to their regular, worn counterparts. But what's even more exciting is the possibility of finding a 1974 penny with a minting error. Minting errors are mistakes made during the coin production process, and they can make a coin one of a kind. These error coins can come in many forms, including double dies, off-center strikes, or even missing design details. If you come across a 1974 penny with one of these rare minting errors, you could be holding a coin that's far more valuable than you ever imagined. Collectors go wild for error coins, as they are unique pieces that stand out from the regular issues, and they can command a much higher price. Now, you're probably wondering, how much could your 1974 1-cent coin actually be worth? If you happen to have one of these pennies in pristine condition, or even better, a rare error coin, you could be looking at a staggering value. Are you ready for the reveal? A 1974 penny, if it's in top-notch condition or has a minting error, could be worth a jaw-dropping $65,000. Yes, that's $65,000 for a single penny. It's incredible to think that something as small and simple as a penny could be worth so much, but in the world of coin collecting, these rare finds are worth their weight in gold. So, if you've got any 1974 pennies lying around, don't just toss them aside. Take a closer look and examine them carefully. Look for signs of wear or, even better, check for any minting errors that could make your penny even more valuable. If you find a well-preserved coin or a rare error, you could be holding onto something truly special, and potentially worth thousands of dollars. In conclusion, the 1974 1-cent coin is a perfect example of how a seemingly ordinary penny can turn out to be a hidden treasure. Whether it's a pristine, uncirculated coin or one with a rare minting error, this penny could be worth a fortune in the right condition. So, don't overlook your 1974 pennies. take the time to check them out, because you might just have a valuable coin on your hands. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about amazing coin finds, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an exciting discovery. Thanks for watching, and happy coin hunting.